It's Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Week, highlighting a disease that attacks the nervous system and affects over 2 million people around the world. 3/4 of those who have it in the U.S. are women.
One of those women is Kat Milliken. In 2006, she was 35 years old and working as a video producer. Numbness in her hand, a delay on the left side of her body, and terrible fatigue led to a diagnosis of MS. But since then, Kat got married, had 2 kids, and runs her own video production company.
Yay for Kat.
We love Kat.
Yes, she continues to undergo a medical treatment to protect her brain and manages her physical issues. Kat's here along with her doctor, Stephen. Is it Krieger, sir?
Krieger.
Krieger, got it right. A neurologist at the Corinne Goldsmith Dickinson Center for Multiple Sclerosis at Mount Sinai Hospital. And welcome to both of you.
Thanks.
You look like you're doing awfully well.
$1 million. How are you feeling?
You know what? I'm feeling great. So I was diagnosed 8 years ago. I have relapsing remitting MS, which comes and goes. I would say in this 8 years, there have been moments where I haven't felt 100%,
Sure.
put it mildly, and
Sure.
Dr. Krieger knows that well because he's my neurologist.
Yes.
But I haven't had an episode in a number of years, and that is awesome.
What do you attribute that to, doctor?
Well, I think it's a bunch of things. I think we have a dozen medicines that are approved now to treat multiple sclerosis, to prevent those relapses, protect the brain, as you said. And I think also the incredibly positive attitude and
She sure does.
Feel that.
health-related positive behaviors and taking care of herself has been really important.
Kate, was it a quick diagnosis? Did you know right away what was going on, or tell us what you thought and how
I
it was
did not know, but I had terrible fatigue. I had numbness in both my hands, but I started getting a delay on my left side. So even though my brain was saying right, left, my left side wasn't working. And I ended up calling a neurologist, and by the time I got to him, I couldn't even keep my balance. So it was very dramatic.
Is that typical, doctor?
It is, loss of sensation like that, numbness in a big part of the body, loss of balance,
Really
loss of
frightening.
movement, scary stuff, big areas, kind of a classic way MS can show itself.
And some people go into a remission for very long periods of time, and other people seem to battle it on a daily basis, gaining in symptoms as well, right?
It's true.
Yeah, it's, every case is individual, which is like kind of a blessing and a curse because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I can certainly say that it forces you to really think in the present. So right now, today, like I'm doing great.
You don't care if there's a snowstorm.
I love the snow. But, the fact is it kind of becomes a bit of a crapshoot, right? So I could say to somebody, whether it's somebody when I was single on a date or an employer or whatever, I'm doing great now. I could be in a wheelchair in 2 months. I could be fine for the rest of my life. And I actually find that throwing it out there and being totally honest makes a big difference.
I bet.
Well, look at Kate. She seems obviously so
positive.
young and so positive, but so young. Is this the age at which people get diagnosed?
Yeah,
Kate?
classically, it is. Yeah, 20s, 30s, and 40s are the main ages. It can happen in children. It can happen in older adults, but that's the classic time.
And why so many women as opposed to men? Do we know that?
It's a great question. We actually think it's even more common in women now than it might have been a few decades ago, so it's something we're really thinking about.
Kate, you're very passionate about the research side of this. Tell us, I know you've got something you want to say.
Well, I would say that, as Dr. Krieger says, there are now 12 disease-modifying therapies for relapsing remitting MS, which is what I have. There were 0 20 years ago. And now there's a more serious form of the illness, which I could slide into this progressive form of MS. There are currently no treatments. And that has been a really big moment of chaos and confusion and figuring out for researchers. But what's great is they have realized it's a big enough problem and it's important enough that spearheaded by the National MS Society, they are doing an International Progressive MS Alliance. And the researchers now are coming from all over the world.
Coming together.
Sharing their data.
Smart.
Doing stuff together.
Finally.
And there are now 40 clinical trials for progressive MS. Not
Fantastic.
4.
So there is good news. You wait years and years and years. Thank you so
You're
much
a
for being
shining
with us
light.
both.
Thanks,
Kate,
guys.
thanks,
stay
doctor.
well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
This is Today on NBC.